class, welcome to week 6. We are almost done. I want to say a few things as I start about writing papers. I wrote on a few of your rubrics that you need a minimum of one source per page in the paper. And those who responded to that said this wasn't on the rubric. It's kind of in the same category as you always write an introduction and conclusion to your papers. It's just kind of a rule of thumb that you follow when you're writing. So we can't put every writing rule on there. Your rubric would be very long, but as some of you did not seem to understand this, I did not take off for it this time. So in the future, and I'll be looking for it as I grade the collaborative language system papers tonight, I'll be looking for an adequate number of sources. And some of you have said we don't have enough required readings to fulfill that. Like any paper you write in any college class, the sources you use are not limited to the sources that are required. When you're writing a paper, you go to the library, you find scholarly sources like articles, books, and they may not, like for instance tonight with collaborative language systems, you won't find a lot of sources specifically about collaborative language systems, but some of the assumptions on which collaborative language systems is based, postmodernity, social constructionism, you have lots of resources on that. So of course you aren't going to write the bulk of your paper based on those sources, but you include them. And the idea behind it, or the principle behind having enough resources for a paper, is that you want to give it enough depth. You're not going to base a whole paper on one source because you're basically just parroting that source. You want sufficient sources so that you can have more depth to what you're writing about. So you're going to want to have several sources on the topic at hand. So that's what I wanted to say about sources. Also, I want to say a little bit about what's coming up this week with emotionally focused therapy. This is a great model. Again, you have a lot of reading to do. We're trying to do a model a week in order to expose you to some of these models. And so there's a lot of reading this week, and you have 4 discussion posts, so get on those right away. And as you're doing the posts, be gathering information for your PowerPoint presentation where you go over EFT based on the couple that is given. And one thing some people miss on this is they don't have adequate speaker notes. The presentation is in lieu of a paper, so of course you don't have to have it in narrative form, but bullet points, just enough to show that you understand what you're talking about on the slide. So you're not putting all your information on the slide, you're putting a few main points and then you're fleshing them out in the speaker notes. That's where you're going to need your citations and that's really the place where you show your understanding of the model. And I did want to say also about that there's no audio required on this presentation, so you don't have to do that. And also, as you're looking at the materials and reading them for your discussion posts, the most important one is the book by Johnson, and that's actually listed last in your required readings. But You want to make use of all the required readings this week, but focus your primary attention on that text. So we're almost done, 2 more weeks, and then we'll be done. So take care, and let me know if you have questions. Bye.